because the last one I
But it was used. Yeah.
All right, 1 second. I have some questions that I have on my phone. So when I'm using my phone, it's not. I'm not texting anybody. All right, so perfect. All right.
Okay. Do me a favor, put this.
On the other side of me?
Yeah. Anymore. It doesn't seem to be.
All right. Let's make sure it's recording. It is recording. All right. What's going on? This is the Babyboomer Bitcoin Anarchist podcast. I am your co-host, Ryan Hoppy. And right now, live from St. Petersburg, Florida, I am here with the host of this very show, known as Steve Stiles. He is here right next to me. What's up, my friend?
Hey, Ryan. It's good to see you again.
I know, man. I'm very glad to be back. We have a lot of exciting things going on with the show, and as always, it's always fun to hang out with you. Now, I haven't spoken to you for 2 weeks. I mean, we've texted here and there, but what's funny was I left my mouse here, and I've been having to use the pad on my laptop, and obviously I love hanging out with you and doing this podcast, but I can't explain to you how excited I am to have the mouse back. It's funny.
It looks like a good mouse, but I was saving it for you. Maybe I should. But you knew I was there.
I knew it was here. So, over the last few weeks, have you done any new investments in Bitcoin? Has there been any crazy news when it comes to the world of Bitcoin?
Well, right now, Bitcoin's has been down a few weeks compared. So
why do you think it's been down?
Because I know I'm very knowledgeable about Bitcoin and other investments. I know one of two things are going to go. One of two things are going to happen with investments. Either they're going to go up or they're going to go down.
Now,
in other words, I'm joking, but yeah. I'm saying it's the nature. If you look at the graph from the inception of Bitcoin, it's go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But the increase is in it's all increased and is going up and from the long term. Even some in the short term, maybe not this week, but it's going up, and I predict it'll continue to go up.
Now, when Bitcoin is going up, and you see it continue to go up, is there a part of you that's like nervous when you're like, when is this going to end?
No, because I'm not a day trader and I'm not looking for trading on the short term. So as long as you hold Bitcoin, it doesn't matter whether it goes up or down. You can't lose money by holding it. Which what they say is hodling. You can't lose money by holding it. But first, this is not an investment advice I'm giving here, and the purpose of the show is going to talk about investment advice.
Yeah.
But I think my opinion is Bitcoin is a good investment in the long term, and even in the short term. But maybe not every day, or maybe not every week.
What do you say to people that they may hear you say, "Oh, Bitcoin's good for the long term," but they might get discouraged or upset that they're not seeing immediate results? What do you say to those people?
Well, it's the nature of the beast. I don't say anything to them. I mean, that's the nature of economics. That's the nature of it's going up. But if you look at what Bitcoin has done since its inception, every week, it's phenomenal. It's going up. So if it's 1 a week, 2 a week, 3 a week, it doesn't matter.
What are some of the apps and websites that you go on to see the latest with Bitcoin, along with checking your wallet?
Well, you could go get an app like Gecko or Coinbase, and you could Google many of the different apps, and they give you the minute by minute, sometimes the reports on it. But first, I'd like to say something about this. Bitcoin, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin when they're done mining it. And mining is simply making a ledger on software, and the ledger is being produced as we exist. So the miners produce the software. It takes a lot of computing power and stuff. With 21 million people, and the demand is getting higher and higher every day, Bitcoin can only go up in the long term.
Now, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but sometimes I feel like our planet isn't doing very well, and I can't really tell from an outsider, being a 30-year-old going on 31 years old, not knowing that much about money, knowing how well the economy is doing, but it doesn't seem to be doing very good. How much of an impact could that potentially have on Bitcoin if the economy keeps being bad?
I'm happy to say, but I'm also sorry to say that having the economy collapsing or not doing well in the long term is actually positive for Bitcoin. Okay.
What is the positive for Bitcoin?
Because Bitcoin, they need something other than paper fiat money. We talked about this briefly before. We talked about paper fiat money destroying the world economy. And the U.S. dollar, now Saudi Arabia no longer takes the dollar as the petrodollar. They'll take the dollar as a petrodollar, but they take other monies as well. So the U.S. no longer has the U.S. dollar no longer has a monopoly on it. Okay. Bitcoin, because it's decentralized, because nobody controls it, like they control the U.S. dollar or the Swiss franc or the euro dollar, nobody controls it like they do the fiat money. It's already in existence, and it's processed by the algorithms, almost robotically by the algorithms in the on the internet, and that's a very powerful thing. No longer is Bitcoin going to be. No longer is money going to be controlled by Bitcoin or by any form of money. No government can control the Bitcoin. They maybe try to manipulate, they maybe try to destroy the exchanges or control the exchanges where it's traded on, but they can't control the Bitcoin.
Do you think, Stephen, that drives the government nuts, that they can't really control Bitcoin?
Well, do they driving? Yeah, it drives them nuts that they can't control Bitcoin, but they're embracing it. Even, and I think we mentioned the last time, even Donald Trump was bad-mouthing Bitcoin a couple of years ago. Now he's not bad-mouthing Bitcoin anymore. The Democrats are not battling it. It's almost apolitical at this point, and it's good. It should be. No longer is governments anywhere are in control of our money. Our money is not a monopoly to be controlled by individual people in the government, which the Federal Reserve is. It's a bunch of bankers that control it. They no longer will control it if we go to a Bitcoin standard.
Expand upon that more, because I barely graduated high school. I'm just kidding. But
actually, that's probably a plus, because they didn't teach you in high school. Everyone assumes that the Federal Reserve is controlled by the government. It is not. I think one time we talked about the U.S. dollar, and I quoted some of the things. On the U.S. dollar, it says, quote unquote, this is a Federal Reserve note. A note is a promise to pay.
Yeah.
It's credit. It doesn't say certificate. It used to say on the U.S. dollar, this certificate, and then it said below, this certificate, you can take it to the Treasury of the U.S. and get silver dollars for it, which is the money, not the paper money that the certificate is on. The note is not even money. It says so right on there. It says this promise to pay is legal tender, meaning you can use it as legal tender, but it's not money. It's for all debts in public and private. That's what it says. If you go to your wallet, your purse, get out the money, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's not something that you would. It's not something that you would learn in college or even high school or college. They don't teach you. Now they're starting, because of Ron Paul, and because of people wanting to understand Bitcoin, they delve into the meaning. But the Bitcoin was simply a way to have fair money and fair assets for people to use for public and private. That's all. And for 15 years, that's exactly what they're doing with it.
Now, I want to ask you, I had ADHD growing up, so I got okay grades in school, but I never was like great at school. And looking back, I really wish I paid attention more, but I did the best I could. Here's what I'm asking you. Do you think that America does a good or bad job at getting kids ready between age 0 to 18? Because I know that when it comes to the ranking across the world for education, that America isn't the highest. So overall, as a man who has seen the world, what do you think of the way that America teaches from age 0 to 18?
Well, if you notice, my podcast is the Babyboomer Bitcoin Anarchist.
Yes, sir.
Anarchist simply means no rule, no government.
Yeah.
Okay. All the institutions that we rely on, some of them we don't have to have at all, but education is one of them. There's no reason in this day and age for technology. Matter of fact, there's no reason ever that we want to have public schools. So yeah.
It feels like a waste of my time.
If you're telling me that public schools suck, they suck.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Especially here in Florida.
Everywhere.
Illinois was a little better, but Florida, man, the Florida education seems terrible.
The purpose of schooling is to make good citizens for the government.
I also think...
Not to get the education that you need.
Stephen, it honestly feels like when I look back on kindergarten through graduating senior year, it just seemed like it was a placeholder where in the 90s and 2000s, and I graduated in 2012, for my generation specifically, I'm not saying I didn't learn things, but it feels like school is just this setup we have because we don't know where to put the kids until they then have to graduate and then go to college. It just feels like first grade, second grade through 12th grade is just time filler.
Well, that may be part of it. They want to make good. They want to.
Yeah, we're good.
They want to educate people to be good citizens and good laborers.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of public education. Throughout history of America, you didn't have public education. And any local education was just that local, and the churches or one-room schoolhouses where different so-called grades are mixed together. It's not important. And people, I want to change the subject a little bit because people talk about Bitcoin like they have, well, before I investing in or before they make a commitment about it, I have to know more about it. But when you realize that you could use email, because again, we talked about this before, you can use email for most of your correspondence, and the technology was phenomenal, and you're using today and to do contracts on real estate or insurance normally. You didn't know that much about email. I still don't know. Do you know what HTML code is?
I know what it is, but I can't describe it to you.
Yeah, it's the basis for the programming of email. But I don't know what the hell it is. I don't care. I know it works. And the same thing with Bitcoin. The programs, the algorithms, everything that we're using to utilize Bitcoin utilize Bitcoin is going to be replaced by fiat money, credit-based money. This is the separation of money and the state, and it's happening as we speak. It's not whether you are a Democrat or Republic any more than Democrats use email and some of Republicans don't, or vice versa. It's all nonsense. It's apoliticalizing the world. Apoliticalizing the world. In other words, Bitcoin is separate from the politicalization of the world. Period.
Now, let's not get too political, but there's this really funny comedy show coming up this week known as the presidential debate.
Yeah.
Any comment?
Well, you said that's not too political. That's the whole point. It's not political. Okay? I don't care what they say.
Yeah, me neither.
They say the same things over and over again. Trump increased the budget, the federal budget by $9 trillion. I don't forget. Bitcoin increased. They have different flavors of ice cream, but it's all, whether it's chocolate or vanilla, it's still ice cream. And they this is about power, and this is about controlling people, and that's what they're after, is to control people. And
I don't like that.
Yeah. Welcome to anarchy.
I'm getting you more and more now. I'm not saying I didn't get you before, but now I totally get why you're an anarchist.
Yeah. All it means is no government. That most of the things that we do on a daily basis anyway was done on a free market basis. It's not no government. When we get it, when we go into our cars and we drive, it's a very dangerous thing. We could kill people. And yet we all do it. We do it relatively safely most of the time. And we do it and we're rational about it. We do it. We're responsible when we do it. We go buy and sell things. We don't steal from most people. The only institutions on the marketplace that steal from us is the government.
I know, it's crazy.
That's what taxation is. It's the government.
Nothing's worse than when I get my paycheck every 2 weeks, and on the app it'll show me how much money was taken out for my taxes. I'm like, I don't need to see that $190 was taken. I'm good. I don't need to see it.
Yeah. Well, at least they're telling you what you're going to be screwed by, you know.
At least they're kissing me before they're screwing me.
Yeah. Well, not even kissing you. Just letting you know that there may be a kiss for the future.
We got a few minutes left here on this episode 5 of the Babyboomer Bitcoin Anarchist podcast. Now, every time I ask you, what is the future of Bitcoin? And it's a very overused question that everybody asks. But for the next, 5 months, it's going to be June 27th, unless you're watching this in the future. What I'm saying is for the next, let's say 5 months, less than half of the year is pretty much the whole year. I'm very tired, but we're more than halfway through 2024. How do you predict the last 5 months going for Bitcoin, is what I'm trying to say, in a long way.
I suspect, I'm just guessing, but I suspect that instead of it's at 6,100, about approximately $61,000 now, I don't think it'll go to 70, 80, or 90. I think it'll jump to maybe even $200, $300, $400, $500.
How excited do you get when you see a jump? Do you get kind of like a dopamine fix?
Yeah,
you get excited?
I guess I do. Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah.
For me, when I get a bunch of likes on social media, that's my dopamine fix. But yours is seeing the increase. You're like, yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Because I involved when it was just a couple of dollars to be involved with Bitcoin. So I've seen it go up before, and people said, "Oh, I should have bought it at $20, or I should have bought it at $100."
Now, as we discussed in the first episode, you got Bitcoin after not knowing much about it during a debate back 15 years ago. Let's go back to that moment. After that debate, if you would have had somebody tell you from the year 2024 that you'd be sitting here talking about Bitcoin and how it's exploding, would there have been any part of you that would have believed it?
Well, at the time I was so overwhelmed with it because it kind of matched with my libertarian leanings.
Yes.
So I was very, very curious about it, and I think that I thought the future of this will be the future of money.
And look at where we are now.
Exactly.
Well, Stephen, this has been a very fun episode 5.
Yeah,
of the
yes it
Babyboomer
is.
Bitcoin Anarchist podcast. I've been really working lately. I'm at a new job where my mental health is a lot better, and I've been working on and eating healthier, so I felt very energetic. Even though I've been up 12 hours, I felt very energetic during this episode. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I see it in your voice, and I see it in the way we interact, so I thank you for your co-hosting this show.
Thank you, sir. Everybody listening, search up HOPPE Radio to check out my podcast known as Happy Hour.